On a cold, rainy Tuesday afternoon, with business slower than ever, Emily wiped down the empty counter of her tiny roadside diner. The neon open sign flickered weakly against the window pane. Bills were piling up, her rent was late, and her heart ached with exhaustion, but she kept the diner open because it was all she had left. That's when the door creaked open and a man shuffled in, soaked to the bone, shivering, and clearly starving. The man looked around awkwardly, as though afraid to be seen. His clothes were torn, his face lined with dirt and fatigue. Emily met his eyes and gently smiled. "You can take a seat," she said, nodding toward the booth near the heater. He hesitated, then sat down. When she brought him a menu, he looked up sheepishly and whispered, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't have any money. I haven't eaten in 2 days." Emily didn't even blink. "You're hungry. That's enough for me." She brought him a bowl of hot soup, a grilled cheese sandwich, and a cup of coffee on the house. He devoured the food, his eyes brimming with tears as he thanked her again and again. "God bless you," he said over and over. Emily smiled and returned to the kitchen, trying to hide her own tears. She had only $20 left in the till. That meal might have cost her more than she could afford, but something in her heart told her she'd done the right thing. After the man left, Emily returned to clean his table. That's when she noticed the folded napkin placed under the empty coffee cup. Curious, she picked it up and unfolded it. Inside was a note written in neat, shaky handwriting, "Kindness like yours saved me once. I haven't felt human in a long time. I'll be back. Thank you for reminding me that goodness still exists." Tucked inside the napkin was a small, unmarked envelope. Inside it, 5 crisp $100 bills. Emily gasped, her hands trembling. Who was this man? She ran out onto the street, but the rain had washed away all traces of him. No name, no number, just the note and the money. For a moment, she stood still in the rain, overwhelmed by gratitude and mystery. Days turned into weeks, and Emily couldn't stop thinking about the man. She framed the note and hung it on the wall behind the register. Business was still slow, but that act of kindness had breathed new life into her. Every customer who came in noticed the note and asked about it. Slowly, the story began to spread, first through word of mouth, then on social media, thanks to a college student who posted about the Diner of Hope. Soon, local news picked up the story. Customers came not just for the food but for the warmth of Emily's heart. Donations trickled in from people who had been moved by her kindness. Volunteers helped fix up the diner. Someone even paid off her rent anonymously. Her once struggling little diner was thriving. One morning, months later, the man returned. This time, he wore a clean coat, his hair combed, his eyes no longer tired but filled with peace. Emily recognized him instantly. She rushed over, speechless, and he took her hand. "I was once a software engineer," he explained. "Lost everything. My wife, my job, my home. I was going to end it all until you served me that meal. That day, your kindness pulled me back from the edge." He introduced himself as Daniel and shared that he'd since reunited with his sister, gotten back on his feet, and was launching a program to help the homeless get job training. He named it Emily's Table, a tribute to the woman who gave him a seat when no one else would. As tears filled Emily's eyes, she realized something profound. Her simple act of kindness had set off a ripple effect that neither of them could have predicted. She had given hope, and in return, she received a miracle. By the end of the year, the diner had doubled in size. Emily hired young people who needed second chances. Her walls were filled with notes from others inspired by her story. And every night before closing, she looked at that framed napkin and whispered a quiet thank you. Because sometimes, when you give without expecting anything in return, the universe gives you back everything you never knew you needed.